Hello everybody, welcome to the next edition of the Rogue Bakers Roundtable. We got a whole bunch of different stuff for you today. Starting off, it is just another day of real life sourdough here in our kitchen. We are about to pull one of our triple chocolate loaves out of the oven. Is that a reminder for you?
Yep.
We got to check the temperature. I think it's about done, but this triple chocolate loaf it's got to be one of our favorites. It's one of the crowd pleasers. We actually are baking this one for a customer who is here through our harvest host, along with 3 other loaves. They ordered 4 loaves, and then another customer coming as well ordered a loaf, plus our cookies that we need to start. So yeah, just craziness going on here in our kitchen today. At the same time, we want to share with you the results. I'm grating some cheese here, as you can see that we're about to take some dough there to form the other 3 loaves for this customer who's getting the chocolate loaf. Still not there?
$197.
$197. I thought it was at $199 before. Anyway,
No, the other one was.
so we've got cheddar everything loaf, our cheddar cheese with everything seasoning. You're going to be kind of watching her on the second camera forming these loaves, so you get a bit of a forming tutorial. And then after we've done forming that, we're going to show you the latest from our sandwich loaf experiments. We've been trying to, and I think nailed last week, a sandwich loaf recipe, a sourdough sandwich loaf recipe, following our 10-minute sourdough made easy method, which consists of cold starter straight from the fridge, so we're not using a levain, not doing any kind of float test or anything like that. Mixing the dough until it's a shaggy dough, and then going to bed, not doing any major kneading, no stretches and folds at all, right? You're not scheduling your whole day around stretches and folds. And then simply by tweaking our simple 10-minute, 3-ingredient recipe, we have developed a sandwich loaf, which we bake in loaf pans in a typical loaf. You see here one of our whole wheat versions, which is what we have been developing over the last week. And it's turned out amazing. Good bread, right? Do you like this whole wheat better than our other triple whole wheat? Probably softer still than even that one.
I don't know. We haven't had that one in a while.
It's been a
We've been
little
so
while.
busy baking for everybody else.
Yeah, we only bake that whole wheat one for ourselves, and so we have so many people coming and getting bread from us that we rarely bake that whole wheat one, even though it's what we make for ourselves. The other thing that we did with that same dough, which is one of the things we love about this recipe and our easy process, is you start the dough, go to bed, get up and decide the next day. We were like, what are we gonna make? So we made a cinnamon swirl loaf, and then we made, let's see, I'll show you that swirl here. It's beautiful. Beautiful swirl loaf. So we made a cinnamon swirl loaf with a 36% whole wheat. So you can see it's a little bit darker than our typical, where are you at? We got a loaf here cut up of typical sandwich bread. So this is the one we showcased for you last week. If you want to see the recipe for making a legit, almost Wonder Bread white sandwich loaf, sourdough sandwich loaf, long fermented. That's what we showcased and showed you the recipe and everything for last week. And then this week is all about the difference between the sandwich loaf and our 36% wheat. That's the only difference. Like this, the recipe's the exact same. Everything all right?
I'm just trying to decide which one. I always have to do this. I have to decide which one to do first because of
Flavor.
potential flavor. Yeah.
Well,
I
I
do
can't
clean it
imagine
between,
a little
but-
bit of garlic in the cheddar. Everything's gonna hurt
Yeah, but there's a
anybody.
cinnamon swirl. So.
Yeah, that's a curveball, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think you'll be fine. Do the cinnamon swirl first.
Yeah.
All right, so you're gonna see a cinnamon swirl. This is the
Show that, yeah.
the bread sandwich loaf recipe of the cinnamon swirl. You're about to watch her form our normal artisan loaf cinnamon swirl, which we just happen to have one of those right here. You can see that swirl. This is a loaf we've been eating. She's forming this one for a customer who's going to be picking up in a couple hours. A few hours, I guess, probably about 2.5 hours from now.
We will be delivering.
We will be delivering it hot to their RV here at our Harvest Host. Let's see, we already have a piping hot garlic parmesan loaf, which you are about to watch her form. So this is what the finished garlic parmesan loaf is for one customer. Are they here, by the way? Did they show up yet?
There are 2 guests here. Both of them are here.
So this is going out to a customer along with a batch of cookies, which, by the way, we have done another video showing. Should I just start those cookies while we're sitting here chatting?
Sure, yeah.
Showing how to make my grandmother's banana oatmeal chocolate chip cookies with a long fermented sourdough version, and then save them like we do here to where's that big old bag of cookies?
Yeah. In the freezer because it was made yesterday.
Oh, this is the one that's...
Yeah.
Okay. There's only 6 here. Frozen cookies. Bear with me, folks. I gotta get cookies. This is how you fit sourdough into your real life, folks.
Oh my goodness.
Stepped on a cat.
Oh. I thought that was inside again. I was like, why is there a cat inside again? We have barn cats. They're not supposed to be inside, but our 2 youngest like to bring them inside anyways. And yes, I am eyeballing my measurements here. My loaves anyways. It's usually pretty good. I'm usually pretty good at it. But. And now I have a timer going off with flour in my hands and my spoons in my pocket. I'm gonna wait for Kimball.
Hi all, what size Dutch ovens do you use to bake your bread?
We use
That is a
3-quart
great
Dutch
question.
ovens. Can you get my phone out and then
Ooh,
check the bread?
Cold. Hold
Oh
on.
yeah.
Phone out and check the bread.
Yep. Got the bread timer? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm doing what? What did you say? Cinnamon first? Right?
So you just saw me pull. Let me show them this real quick first. Sheet of cookies. This is our cookie recipe, scooped with the scooper and then frozen individually so we can pop them off and have cookies anytime ready for that recipe and process is on our YouTube. You can watch that video showing you how to long ferment these cookies. You want me to check this bread?
Please.
The chocolate loaf.
Yep. I am on tight quarters here. I usually have this like whole counter space here for me when I'm doing this.
How is it still just 197?
I don't know. Sometimes it, you know, and especially with the chocolate loaves, it always takes much longer with chocolate loaf. So just remember that.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Back in.
What is it? 97? Yeah.
197?
Yes. Yep. So this is our cinnamon swirl mixture. Am I doing this? Am I doing the?
Huh?
Am I just warming or am I talking like that?
Talk. Tell them what you're doing.
I do a cinnamon swirl mixture, not cinnamon sugar mixture, and then I load on more cinnamon on top of that because we want it to be really cinnamony. And,
It creates a really nice dark lines when you swirl
that
it.
makes it pretty.
You add the extra cinnamon.
Can you give me another cinnamon out, please? I think I might actually have it. I don't know. So I layer it on nice and thick. I mean, not thick, but just solid coverage, right? And then fold it up, squeeze my ends down there. Fold it up again so that's into thirds there. Pinch my seams down, if you will. Do cinnamon sugar on here again. Tommy, are you watching for comments for us, please? Here I thought this was gonna be a slow and easy round
Beverly
round
says,
table.
okay, I think that's my problem and why my bread kind of flattens out. I use an 8 or 9 quart
Yes.
Dutch oven.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
The 3-quart makes it much taller.
Yep.
Even just 3 to 5-quart is a dramatic difference.
I have a big air pocket. So I pinched a hole in it because of this air pocket, and I don't want it to be super airy. I got another, you see that, how there's an air pocket there? A big old bubble, which might be okay, but I don't want it to be like that, especially between the cinnamon swirl layers. And then I just pinch it back up. I let the air out and then pinch it back up. And now I'm gonna form like usual, and it's kind of pulling apart here, so I'm gonna pinch it a little bit more. And still do my, and I've got a little rip there. That might be about it. Let's see. Okay. And that's my rule. Put it on my parchment paper. Give it to my Banneton. I am particular. I like to fold down my parchment paper so that it's not gonna make little wrinkles in the side of my bread, if that makes sense.
I notice this is one of the main things we do different than other people is to tighten the top of the loaf and then place it on parchment to lift into the Dutch ovens. Most people will take and flour their Banneton really good and then flip the dough over inside the Banneton and then flip it back over onto something that they're going to bake it on. And this putting it straight on the parchment and using the parchment to lift it and move it around tends to be a much easier process, and I think results in a prettier loaf personally, because the top can be nice and tight instead of ridges from the Banneton.
I'm just getting flavor off. If I'm just doing plain loaves, I just go, keep going. Did you already talk about the cinnamon roll?
What do you mean talk about it? I mentioned you were making a cinnamon swirl.
No, cinnamon roll.
Oh, cinnamon roll. Sort of. I think I started talking about it. We made cinnamon rolls out of the same dough that we made the cinnamon swirl and plain whole wheat loaf.
Timer.
For the bread again?
Yeah. This is how I start stretching out my dough when I'm doing inclusions. I just find that it gives me a good start for the middle. As you can see, most of the middle, the ends are still, the outsides are still really thick.
Hi.
Smiley says hi. Hi, Smiley. That makes stretching it out a little bit easier in my opinion. So that's how I do that. That's why I do that.
Okay, I'm gonna fire up the top oven.
You check that chocolate loaf.
So then you place the frozen cookies. Man, we're just showing you all kinds of stuff. We place the frozen cookies on the tray. 350 for 12 to 15 minutes depending on your oven.
This is a cheddar everything loaf. So we've got some fresh grated cheddar cheese. We need to figure out something to do with that sharp white cheddar, Kimball.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Ooh. Maybe like make a charcuterie loaf.
Charcuterie loaf?
Charcuterie loaf? How do you say that word?
Charcuterie board?
Charcuterie? Yeah, like a charcuterie board with like sharp white cheddar and maybe some salami or pepperoni.
For those cookies before I forget.
Yeah. Okay. Have you checked the bread yet? Okay, cheddar everything. So cheddar, everything bagel seasoning. Yeah, I want to try that charcuterie loaf. I think that sounds kind of fun.
You should do it.
Same thing here, just gonna roll it into thirds. Pinch my ends down there. Flap it back over. Pinch all my sides down. And then do this again. This inside roll.
calling it. I think we're good.
Okay.
I don't know. It's still just 197. Maybe I keep hitting like chocolate spots or something.
Yeah, that does it. I don't know. Shoot. Sometimes a chocolate loaf is a turd. This one will be easier to show you. I kind of make it round with my hands, and then I do my regular
What do you want to do? Back in or
holes.
pull it?
It's not gooey at all, right?
I mean, of course it's gooey. It's got chocolate all over it, but
Well, not like dough
doughy.
gooey. Yeah, not doughy. And there is that.
maybe it's all.
Yeah, I don't want to burn it.
All right, so done baking till those proof.
That is the tricky part. We put a lot of chocolate chips in our chocolate loaf. And so it's very possible that all of that inside chocolate, because when you hit a chocolate chip when you're checking temperature, it'll make it lower than the dough is, if that makes sense. I don't know. Put a little over that for me over there. Does he say anything else?
That's a
Oh, I need to mark that. There have been times where I have messed up because I didn't label, so to speak, the tops of my loaves of bread, my boules, with what was inside, and I have accidentally put the wrong topping on top of a loaf, and I try not to do that. So I put a little bit of whatever it is that's inside, if there's anything inside. If it's plain, I leave it alone. But if there's cinnamon swirl, I put a little bit of cinnamon on top. If it's in cheddar everything, I put some of the everything seasoning on top so that I can see plain and clear what's inside.
Right, no guessing.
Yeah. So,
All right, so last one is the garlic parm. You already did that one.
nope, I got the garlic parm left.
All right, garlic parmesan coming up. I think we have somewhere on our thing showing a garlic parm,
So
but
did you show the cinnamon roll yet?
I don't
The
know.
cinnamon rolls are so good. You told them we used the sandwich loaf recipe, right?
Yeah.
We had previously tried making cinnamon rolls. Sorry,
Look at that chocolate loaf.
so big.
Oh, gorgeous.
We had previously used a regular, right? Regular sourdough bread, artisan boule dough to make cinnamon rolls, and it was really great. It was yummy. It was fine.
Tasted great. The one thing
but
about
it did not. Yeah.
It seemed to not keep as well. It got really hard the following day.
Yeah.
It was great if you warmed it back up in the microwave,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't want to just like pull it out of the box and eat it cold because it was a little bit hard, which we found is not the case with the
sandwich
using
loaf.
the sandwich loaf dough to make cinnamon rolls. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think we ever threw away a cinnamon roll, but it is definitely better with the honey, butter, and milk in the dough. And so we're finding this dough, this sandwich loaf dough, to be about as versatile, if not more versatile,
Yeah.
than the other stuff that we've done so many different videos showing how to do stuff.
We'd have better luck if we didn't have a wonky oven.
Yeah, our oven is on the fritz. We got it secondhand, and it is well used.
Showing its
baked.
age.
We have baked hundreds and hundreds and hundreds
True,
of loaves in
true.
this
We
oven.
do bake a lot, so.
Oh, kids are having a good time.
Okay, using minced garlic for this garlic parmesan, and just now covering it in parmesan.
I think it might be better if you had some like fresh grated Parmesan and, you know, fresh cut or roasted garlic or
But
whatever.
people still love this.
But this is still
So
a
do we,
fantastic
yeah.
loaf. Just having the ready-made stuff from Walmart or whatever
Got
on
a
it.
seed in there. And the poppy seed. From the everything.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, are you guys having fun back there?
You're okay. Can you go play with your sister nicely, please?
There's been 5 Baby Joy videos, and I don't want to watch Baby Joy anymore.
Can you go back there and nicely work it out with your sister? We're on live right now.
Be the big sister that just takes care of little sister for a little bit. Can you do that? Can you?
Ton of chat messages.
I'll pay you. I'll give you a little
Ton of chat messages.
payment. Do you want to earn a little bit of money by helping babysit?
I'm not even old to get old
Okay,
enough to
can you just go do it, please?
You're not really babysitting because we're not gone, but you're helping take care of your little sister. And you are old enough to do that. I love you. Okay. This is the girl. What the?
What was
He opened YouTube and it went straight to the shorts or whatever.
Tommy said we got messages, so I put my glasses on. Let's see. Wow, there are a lot of messages. Hello, New Mexico. Welcome, Joni, Nikki. Newfoundland, Canada. Awesome. Chattanooga. Excited. I make this 36% whole wheat traditional loaf all the time. Have 4 proofing now. It's a fantastic loaf. I love that loaf.
Who's that?
This is Nikki Knits.
Cool.
Says she's got 4 proofing now. Also love the sandwich white bread. It's like taking those 2 awesome breads and smashing them together. Literally, I mean, it is. It's the same process. You just take out a little bit of the water. In fact, we can, Thomas, we're gonna put the recipe in the description for those of you watching this live. Sorry we didn't put it in there ahead of time. But it's the same basic recipe for the sandwich loaf that we revealed or whatever talked about last week. What?
What do you want?
I gotta send you the recipe and put it in there. Sourdough sandwich loaf. So now I'm gonna read the recipe out to you, so that you know what it is. Thomas, will you figure out what 36% of 1 pound 4 ounces is? So it's 4 ounces, 4.1 ounces of starter, 1 pound, 4 ounces, 36%. What is 36%?
How much is a pound? 16?
16?
Yes.
So
20 ounces?
20 ounces
Divide what percentage?
times 0.36.
7.2 ounces.
7.2 ounces. Yes? Okay. So we got 4 ounces of starter, a half a stick or a quarter cup, 2 ounces of butter. We got 22 grams, 0.8 ounces or 2 tablespoons. Those are your measurements for honey. We got 7.2 ounces of water. We got, so what's the other side of that then? That's 20 ounces. So 13 ounces of white or bread flour with 7 ounces of whole wheat flour. And then, let's see, 2.2 ounces or a quarter cup of milk, half and half or cream. We've used all of them. All of them make it a little bit better than not having the milk or cream in there. And then 0.7 ounces or 20 grams of salt. That's the recipe for this 36% whole wheat sourdough sandwich bread loaf that we then took a triple batch. So you just watched her take this is our triple batch proofing pan that we use. You watched her form 3 different loaves for customers. Well, I did the same triple batch of this wheat. We did this sourdough sandwich, or rather cinnamon swirl bread. We did the cinnamon rolls that turned out absolutely amazing. And we did a regular wheat sandwich loaf. here that also turned out amazing out of that one triple batch. So it is a very versatile dough. So we started it, fermented it for the same, right at about 12 hours in our warm kitchen before it is plenty fermented and ready to shape. About an hour to 90 minutes after you shape it, letting it rise in those bread pans themselves, and then baking it at 375 degrees. Since we're using the bread pans, it does tend to crisp up a little bit more on the sides and the bottom, so that's why we bake it a little bit lower temperature. Yeah, we've also done a cheddar everything inclusion loaf with this bread, with this dough, and it turned out amazing as well. What else have we done with this dough? I think that's it so far. Just these. We did with the other sandwich dough. We did make rolls or hamburger buns that were awesome that we had with hamburgers last week, a couple weeks ago. Those were great. That was with the white sandwich loaf, not this whole wheat one, but yeah, it's a great recipe for great bread. You got to watch us a little forming tutorial. We talked a little bit about our cookies, our chocolate loaf. All of these are videos that we've done full video tutorials showing you. So if you haven't seen those yet, make sure to check out our channel. If you're not a subscriber yet, make sure to subscribe. And every week we're doing these Rogue Bakers Roundtable live streams. So that's kind of the show for today. Now we're going to transition into what we call, the cookies. Let's see, check on those cookies. Oh, they're almost there.
Do you have timer for those? Oh wait, I put one on, didn't I?
What do you think?
30 more seconds.
30
41.
more seconds. Okay.
I can tell if they're a little glossy on top, they're not quite done. And so I need another minute maybe.
Your timers are hiding from me. And then start reading some comments. We're shifting to now what we call the Rogue Bakers Unite portion of the call. This is where fellow Rogue Bakers like yourselves, people who are looking to break all of the rules. You should warm that up so we can chow down on that while we're watching this. Those cinnamon rolls were so good. I won't tell you how many of them I had. So good times here with the Rogue Bakers. We want to be here every single week for you to answer any questions you've got as you're going through your sourdough journey. Questions you might have about our recipes or things that we have done. Questions or recipes that you've seen other people do that you'd like us to try and do. Anyway, or comments, questions, successes that you've had. I know we've got Bridget on with us today. She sent us some awesome pictures of the stuff she's been baking this week.
She made a pumpkin loaf, right?
Yeah, maple pumpkin, I think. Didn't you say it was? We've been wanting to do a maple bacon loaf. That's one on our list. We want to add some maple syrup into the dough itself when we make it, kind of like we're doing with the honey on this sandwich loaf.
Yeah.
The maple syrup loaf.
That's a good point.
With crunchy bacon inside of it. Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure where you got to.
I didn't really. I think I read like the first one or two, so.
Ooh. Excited for the recipe. I make the 36. You read that. Which I Dutch oven. Yep. Timer.
That's
Cookies. I had discard pancakes this week. Wow, they were the best. Only started sourdough on September 9th. All going well thus far. Awesome!
Awesome. Those discard pancakes are good. Love those.
Nikki Knits. I'm currently making a lemon blueberry inclusion loaf, and I don't know why I did not just use your recipe and add lemon and blueberries instead of following this 10 steps or more recipe, etc.
Yep.
Silly me. Yeah, we've actually done one of those before.
We've done a lemon blueberry loaf, and it turned out fantastic.
Yeah, and
That
I want
was
to try
awesome.
the thing I keep trying to put in your ear is not literally, the lemon poppy seed muffins.
Yes, we should do a sourdough lemon
Yeah.
poppy seed muffins.
Smiley says, Nikki, it's a journey. Where's the wheat sandwich loaf, they said. Did you show that?
Yep, we just showed them all that.
Okay. Janice, I made a dill and Havarti cheese today and it was beautiful and delicious. That's one we've heard several times now, isn't it? Dill and Havarti?
Okay. Sounds good.
It does sound good. I'm actually kind of salivating. Nikki Knits, I even have 4 loaves full fermenting. Yep. You read that one, right?
Yeah.
Bridget, hi, I made it. She says, Hi, Bridget. Beverly. Oh, and what size Banneton do you use? That's pretty standard. I don't think there's a size of. Well, that's
those
not
are
true.
slightly different
They are
sizes.
slightly
They're like
different.
9 and 10 inches.
They've
I
all
think,
worked
yeah.
fine for
Yeah.
whatever. We don't use those for the sandwich loaves. We just proof right in the sandwich loaf pan.
Yep.
So, but I do have a sandwich loaf Banneton that I would use if I wanted to, but we do it right in the pan. So
It makes it easy to just score and throw in the oven.
Step. Skips this. It's a little step anyways. Nikki said, Janice, stop. Now you got me wanting to try that. Bridget, I'm baking also with you, making sourdough pumpkin maple English muffins. Oh my goodness. Sourdough pumpkin maple English muffins.
That
That sounds awesome. We have some pumpkin butter in the fridge that I'm in love with too, so all the pumpkin things right now for me.
Every year.
Bridget says beautiful. Beverly says absolutely beautiful. Smiley says beautiful. That must be when you were showing the bread. Bridget says love it. Cannot wait to make it. Beverly, I so miss my double oven. Smiley, I hear the kiddos having fun. Love to hear them. Smiley says it's late here. 12:41 a.m. I will catch up tomorrow. Whoa. Where did they say they are?
Canada? Is that the person from Canada?
Smiley.
So look at those cookies. Absolutely fantastic cookie recipe. We get rave reviews when we sell these to customers. And just about everybody that comes here is not only buying them, but then leaving us a great review about the cookies.
Yeah.
So yeah, try those cookies out.
Smiley's in Ireland.
Ireland?
So cool.
Awesome. Welcome.
I think that was them saying they're going to bed. Nikki, it's good practice babysitting. Yeah. Bridget, I currently have so many doughs fermenting bagels, sun-dried and sun-dried English muffins, cinnamon raisin bagels.
Yeah.
All the things.
Yeah.
Literally, she does all the things.
Yep. Bridget, you're inspiring.
Yeah. Smiley, I love how Mama just gets on with doing stuff, clearing up like a boss. Yeah, sometimes I do, he calls it, my itchy trigger finger, I clean up too fast. And he's like, wait, where'd that go?
I was just going to use that.
Brenda, what size starch do you use to cook your sourdough bread in? I think that's supposed to say Dutch.
Dutch oven's 3-quart.
Yeah.
It helps the dough to hold together and rise better than a 5-quart. So instead of sometimes when it bakes, it kind of bakes out in a 5-quart or larger. And the 3-quart, it like tries to bake out, but it can't, so it goes up, and you get a much taller loaf. Changing nothing but the Dutch oven. Like we've taken, we actually learned this. We were baking exclusively in 5-quart Dutch ovens, and then we needed a new Dutch oven. We went to Walmart, and all they had was a 3-quart. So we're like, oh, we'll try it. And then we started calling that one our sandwich loaf because it was so much taller and shaped better like sandwich bread. Until we totally just shifted everything to 3-quart, and we haven't used a 5-quart in a long time. So yeah, 3 quarts
This is
all
day
day.
3 on this.
Mm-hmm.
It's still good, but it is getting a little bit drier.
We made that Sunday night, so
Yeah, and it's Tuesday, so yeah, it's been full 3 days now, almost to the dot.
What other comments? Any other comments?
You want some? What size cast iron pan do you use for cooking your 12-minute sourdough bread?
That's what I'm saying. We just talked about that, right?
3-quart. Bridget, Rogue Bakers Unite. Yes.
Yes.
Well, that was a big bite, wasn't it?
Thanks, Mom.
Bridget says, yes, maple pumpkin loaf was fantastic. Yeah. If you like sharing that recipe, I'm open for the email.
Yeah.
I'll watch for it.
I want to get some that.
You want some of the topping? Like that? Joni, give a heart. Beverly, oh, and what size Banneton do you use, and why is it the only size Banneton seem to be 5 ounces or 9 ounces? We must use a 9 ounce because I think I have flour on my face.
9 inch or ounce?
It says ounce. I don't know. Oh, yes. Orange. Jenna says, orange cranberry, please, for the holidays. That is so up my alley. I love orange cranberry, all the things. Matter of fact, yeah, didn't we make one of those last year?
We made a cranberry orange last year.
Yeah, we made a cranberry orange white chocolate loaf, and it was so good. And I adapted the glaze that I make for the cinnamon rolls, and I added the white chocolate chips, and we just blended it right in. Craisins and orange
Zest.
Zest, yeah, that's the word, thanks. And a little bit of orange juice for the oh, we made rolls like that too. Oh, dude.
Yep, we made orange
I'm
rolls
so
with
ready for all
cranberry
the
juice.
fall things right now. It's one of my favorite. Was that yummy?
Mom,
What?
this.
You want some cheese? She wants cheese,
Dad,
Daddy.
look at my bun.
Your pretty buns.
Yeah.
Yeah, your hair's pretty, huh?
There you go. There's some cheese. Beverly says, Bridget, that sounds yummy. Bridget, it was so awesome, Beverly. JWT, just found your channel yesterday. Thank you for making this look accessible to someone who has never made bread before. Looking forward to this journey.
Awesome.
Yeah,
You're
awesome.
welcome. Glad to have you.
Yeah. I was going to say the same thing. Bridget, so delish. So are all you. I love this channel. Katie, I tried the soft sandwich loaf and didn't rise at all. So I made a new mix of warm water and a little sugar and squished the mess together and salvaged the works. Cool. I don't know why it didn't rise. Bummer. Hey, let's not, please. Bridget, Katie, how old is your starter? Temp of the house. She's
Helping solve the problems.
Yep.
Thank you, Bridget.
sometimes I feed my starter whole wheat flour to get it stronger again. Bridget says, I emailed it to you. I hope you can find it. I will email again if needed. Thanks, Bridget. But yeah, Katie, give us the rundown of what you did.
Hush.
Dogs like to bark at our guests. Super loud. Maybe I should go back on the wall. Or maybe you should since you can't read.
I'm blind.
Nikki, I use your 36% whole wheat and I use a huge Dutch oven and still get super tall loaves. I use bread pans for sandwich bread mostly, but still get tall loaves when I don't. Yeah, and I think part of that, is that the guest that, is that maybe the new guest?
It's the neighbor driving his back over somewhere for some reason.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Tractor and the dogs are barking. So I think part of the working without the 3-quart Dutch oven is proof time, probably, right? If you let it overproof it all, it's going to spread out more instead of rise up more. So wouldn't you say that's the case?
Yes. Yeah. The more it proofs and or overproofs, the harder it is to keep it to hold its shape. So it's going to collapse more. And
No, really.
our current proof time, like for that chocolate loaf, was under 12 hours. It was already showing like it was overproofed. So something that I didn't understand quite literally when we made that 10-minute video that most people are seeing is how much the temperature of the kitchen affects the proof time. Here in the middle of the summer, we're now towards the end of the summer. I guess we're into fall now. It's still really warm in the kitchen and things proof way faster than they did when we made that video in the middle of January when it was cooler in the kitchen. So just if you're having trouble getting a loaf to hold its shape, try forming it a little bit sooner, proofing it a little bit less, fermenting it a little bit less, and it should hold its shape a little better.
Things that will play into that is your flour, the type of flour you're using. Some are more absorbent than others, so it'll make a difference. Your elevation, your temperature, your humidity. I think those are the biggest factors.
For me, it's a lot about just experience. Clearly,
Experimenting even.
Yeah, you got to have a good solid starter that's really robust and gonna do the job that you want it to do when you put it in there. If you've got a good starter to work with, then the real issue is just getting a feel for that dough, getting a feel for the bread, how it's going to respond to your kitchen, to your humidity, to your environment, the temperature in your kitchen, how your stove cooks it and everything else. And the only way to really solve all of those variables is just to bake enough bread. We named the 7-day sourdough made easy challenge or whatever that because it's less about trying to fit it into a week of 7 days and more like by the time you've baked 7 loaves, you're going to know how that dough is supposed to look, and you're going to have enough success versus failure that to start to solve and mentally master that the process of making sourdough. The real process, I think Bridget would probably attest to this, is just getting over any kind of fear that you can't do it and just start baking, and then you'll realize that it really can be as easy as we're making it look here, baking all sorts of different stuff all at once while still preparing for a live stream. Sourdough can be this easy if you follow this simple 10-minute sourdough made easy method, the recipe, the sandwich loaf, just like we're doing, and just solving those last few variables that have to do with your environment and your kitchen. You can absolutely make sourdough for sure.
Bridget, I did some orange cranberry bagels. It was awesome.
Yum.
Katie, have had it for a while and looked good, but added extra flour and water to make sure it was active. Obviously, it didn't help. Talking about her starter.
Mom, can I have a cookie?
Shh, no, those are for customers.
What?
We can do some milk after we get done with this live, okay?
Just a couple minutes. Bridget, maybe feed a tiny bit, double what it weighs. It will make it puff. Katie says, thanks, Bridget. Yeah, any
A
suggestions?
stiffer starter.
Well,
Please.
are you getting bubbles when you feed? Like, give us a little bit more detail, and so we can help you troubleshoot that.
Yeah.
Any specific questions you want to ask? Like, how are you feeding it? Are you feeding it 1-to-1? What are you feeding it? Nikki, if anyone ever tried their recipes and it didn't rise, just wait. It may need longer in your kitchen, like they said. Mine take 18 hours, not 8 oftentimes. But it will, and it will be perfect.
Yeah. Eventually, like I said, figure out how to make this recipe, this process work in your environment, and you'll have a go-to that you can make easy bread all the time.
And Katie said, mine was definitely over 15 hours, and kitchen here in Arizona is 80, so that might be too long.
Yeah. If it's 80 in your kitchen and you're at 15 hours in a relatively similar elevation to where we're at, my guess is your bread's going to be way overproofed.
Are they similar elevation?
And probably hard to work with. It was probably sticky when you were trying to form it.
Yeah.
But that, to me, that timeline tells me it was probably an overproofed dough, which will almost universally be a more dense or collapsed
Things
dough.
to watch for when you're proofing, when you're doing your bulk ferment, is how much does the dough double in size? Does it double in size? Does it start to go back down? If it starts to go back down, you're definitely overproofing. You want to be proofing it just to the point where it's about double in size, and that, what's that jar called again?
Aliquot jar. You can use an aliquot jar.
That can, especially while you're learning.
It's something we taught a few weeks ago. If you go back and look through our live streams, it's a little jar. It's like basically a gauge or a measurement where you can watch. You take a piece of your dough out, put it in a jar, put a rubber band on it, and
Like
then you
this.
can watch when it rises.
You put a rubber band to show if you put dough in and you put this much dough into to right there, you put your rubber band right around there, and then you can see how far it's rising, and your rubber band is your marker of what you need.
And then in your kitchen, it's like a special gauge for your environment or your kitchen.
Yeah.
And you'll know once it has doubled, it starts here, once it gets to there, regardless of what you thought the pan looked like or the bowl that it's sitting in,
Sometimes
and you
it's
can't
hard
quite
to
tell,
gauge, yeah.
can't quite tell if it's doubled or not. Once you see it doubling here, because you took it off of this and put it in here, so it's the same dough, and then that helps you learn when it's ready to form. But just based on what you're saying, in Arizona in the heat, 80 degrees in your kitchen, that dough could be ready as early as 8 to 10 hours at 80 degrees. Based on when it's 75 to 80 degrees in our kitchen here, it can be very, very fast. I've had overproofed dough at 12 to 13 hours. And so, yeah.
Bridget, yep, so true. Unbleached flour also is needed. DRS, where is the recipe for the sandwich bread?
So last week's live stream, currently at this moment, will have the recipe in the description for the white loaf, and you're just swapping out 7 ounces of flour from that recipe to make this wheat loaf. Everything else is exactly the same. And if you're watching this recording, it'll be in this description as well. And a few minutes ago, I just read it off to you, read off the whole recipe as well.
Okay, so definitely Judy Adams, I couldn't get the link to work. It said just waiting. Now that it's almost over, it works. I will start it over.
Sorry, Ma.
Nikki Knits, that does sound like it would make very proofed. Yeah. Katie, I can't seem to get CC lately, and that would help with my hearing issues. Oh, dang.
Closed caption.
Yeah. I wish there was printed out recipes on the screen.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe we could add printed text. We probably can figure out how to make the software put the recipe all over the screen. But we didn't figure that out yet. Sorry.
Yeah. And yeah. Bridget, you could also do a cold proof and shape. That may also help.
Help keep the dough from collapsing or
That's
overproofing.
what, yeah.
Yeah, if you find yourself in a situation where your dough's going to overproof, it's too warm in your kitchen, you can absolutely shape it and then put it in the refrigerator to slow it down.
So you
Like
can
if you're not ready to
bake when you
bake
want.
yet and you
Right.
want to bake when you want a little bit later, you can form the loaf, put it in the banneton, and then put the banneton in the fridge. And you can leave it in the fridge for 24, 48 hours. Builds up a lot of robust flavor if you do a cold proof like that. But one of the other reasons to do the cold proof is it also helps you schedule your baking better as well. If you find your dough's proofed too fast or too slow or whatever and it's not quite ready when you need it to be, you can stop the fermentation or retard the fermentation process by putting it in the fridge.
No, we don't really ever do that.
We never do that.
But we don't really.
We have done it a couple of times. We rarely ever do it.
Right.
We just try and plan out, starting the bread 12 to 15 hours before when we want to be either eating it or delivering it to a customer.
Nikki, maybe even less hours than that for 80 degrees, yeah, which we don't. Katie, feeding equal flour and water.
Now, when you say equal flour and water, are you weighing it or are you doing it equal? Because I do equal by 4 cups of flour and 4 cups of water, which is like majorly breaking the rules if you're a typical. Most people would say you got to weigh it, and I didn't realize how big of a difference it made. But it's almost a 200% hydration starter. The way that I typically do it when I'm just putting 4 cups of water, 4 cups of flour, because I didn't realize that 4 cups of water weighs way more than 4 cups of flour, almost twice as much. So that can make a difference in the end product. Again, for me, it's just I've learned my process. I wouldn't necessarily tell you to change the way you're doing your starter, except to, if your process isn't working. But figure out how to make the process work for you in your environment. For me, it's 4 cups of water, 4 cups of flour is what we feed. His name is Isaiah. He was fed a couple of days ago, and we've made
The guest is here, I'm sorry.
10 or 12 loaves. The guest is here?
Yes,
Where?
no boxes.
I thought this is the third one. Oh, that's right. We just had a last minute request to stay. Okay, so you're going to go out and meet him or what?
Sure.
Okay. What other questions have come up? Anything?
That has been it, but let me double check. Katie said didn't rise at all overnight, didn't do anything. Sometimes they look, can you stop please? What are you doing? Yes, I know, but can you wait 1 minute please? Just 1 minute. Sometimes they overnight, unless you're doing a time lapse like we've done before, it's hard to tell when they rise and when they, if it rises and falls back down, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Especially on a starter sometimes.
If it didn't move at all, then my assumption would be your starter is not
there
yet active enough to bake with. Because if you got an active starter and you put fresh flour and water on that starter, it's gonna move. It's gonna bubble. It's gonna move for sure.
Bridget said, "What type of flour?" Katie said, "Regular, unbleached. Didn't have any problem at all with the no whole wheat bread." So, this is with the whole wheat that she's doing. Okay, she has a hot dog in the microwave. I'm gonna go out and greet the guests.
It was fantastic having you join us, Bridget. As always, And thank you for sharing your recipes and your successes with us via email. Anybody else want to email us? Hello@Sourdough Made Easy if you want to email us your successes and share your Rogue Baker successes with us. That would be awesome. Thank you, Bridget, for joining us.
Hey!
Hi.
Come out.
Okay, you might want a sweatshirt.
Nikki just tuned in. Thank you for joining us. When you make your sourdough loaf, I've been using bread flour for the last bunch of. This is made with a bread flour mixed with a whole wheat flour. Only because that was what was next up in our. Like, we go buy batches of bags of flour. I have yet to see much of a difference in our recipe whether we use bread flour versus all-purpose flour. But yes, absolutely, you can use bread flour for this recipe. Both the sandwich loaf recipe, the white loaf sandwich loaf we did last week, the whole wheat loaf that we did this week, and our typical 10-minute sourdough made easy loaf, artisan loaf, all of those can be either all-purpose or bread flour interchangeably the way we use them. Nikki says, come back and look for the recipe. Yeah, we'll be there in the description just a few minutes after we finish up here. All right. So any other questions or things that we can help you with before we move along on our evening here? Let you guys get on with your evening as well.
1, 2, go.
You're welcome, Nikki.
And
Going out to meet the guests. Okay. Yeah. Any last questions before we wrap up, everybody?
I don't want me to.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We will wrap it here. If you do have questions that come up throughout the week, make sure to post those comments below on the video, and we will, of course, get back to you with any help we can do. And we will be back here, same time, same place, live next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, for the next Rogue Bakers Roundtable. Thank you, everybody, and we will catch you next week. Thomas.